to be able to just make a choice on your own and just be able to speak for yourself.
This one's wife. What the fuck is this? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. I'm going to read something to you now, and you may go through a number of different sensations. Disbelief, incredulity, mirth, and quite possibly nausea. You have been warned, and therefore you may want to ensure that you have a chuck bucket to hand. I didn't get the jam. That's not something that would normally disappoint me. But there I was, not typically an eater of jam, feeling quite let down. The email from the As Ever team informed me that I would not, in fact, be receiving the buzzy new apricot spread from This One's Wife's lifestyle line. And I wasn't alone. I checked out in under 10 minutes during As Ever's second product drop. But within days, like many other purchasers, I got the dreaded notification that the jam was not available due to high demand, and a refund was on its way. My dreams of breakfasts with jam-covered toast and other things you put jam on were dashed, but I also wasn't surprised. These jams became the stuff of marketing dreams when the Duchess of Sussex started sending out gift boxes to her inner circle in the lead-up to her company launching. Mindy Kaling got the jam, Kris Jenner got the jam, who's going to get the jam next? Had a real moment on social media. When As Ever finally debuted its first products this past April, the raspberry jam and everything else sold out in less than an hour. Building on the popularity of This One's Wife's Netflix entertaining series, With Love, Meghan, As Ever has seemed so far to be a viral smash. According to the Daily Beast, the line's virtual shelves have managed to stay fully stocked for only 0.01% of the time since the first drop. But if you were to browse some As Ever headlines, or be brave enough to Google This One's Wife and As Ever, you might find yourself questioning that success. You'd instead hear from insiders that This One's Wife is actually cooked because of her brand's mishaps, and that her newest product, a rosé, is actually the nail in the coffin for her because of no demand. But the thing is, I didn't get the rosé either. It also sold out within minutes. So you can see why this kind of coverage has me, someone without any jam and without any rosé, scratching my head. From the coveted fruit spreads and wine to the supremely Instagrammable flour sprinkles, it's obvious there are buyers out there for what This One's Wife is selling. But because the As Ever products consistently go viral and sell out very quickly, I'm supposed to believe that the Duchess is a total failure. These clickbait declarations of brand disaster focused on empire building and margins and monetization always contain assurances of This One's Wife's impending flop. They miss. Though, what is really setting As Ever apart? The brand is This One's Wife on her terms. In With Love, Meghan, This One's Wife's skill at entertaining is so breezy and palpable that it makes you start to believe that you too can easily make your own candles or throw together a summer salad with ingredients from your vegetable garden. Though my wilting lettuce plant on the kitchen counter would argue otherwise. The best lifestyle doyens have this magical aspirational quality in spades. Martha Stewart, of course, and Ina Garten, even Gwyneth Paltrow, when they share little hints of who they might be off-screen. Like Ina sipping a cocktail. Martha posting a thirst trap before an update on her donkeys. Gwyneth dicing onions in Italian pyjamas. It can build connections and drive consumer behaviour, a measurable thing that Harvard Business Review calls emotional motivators. This one's wife's long been a natural in this space, from her pre-royal blog days with the Tig to now on Netflix arranging unruly flowers into an artful tablescape and preparing lavender-scented cooling towels for a post-hike refresh. She has given me things I never knew I needed in my life, but have since discovered are absolutely divine. No matter how many times my spouse says, "Why are we keeping towels in the refrigerator?" But I also imagine that despite her ease on screen and craftiness with essential oils, that her move back into the lifestyle arena wasn't a decision she made lightly. This is a woman who, since bursting onto the international radar 8 years ago when her engagement with Prince Harry was announced, has received a genuinely shocking onslaught of negativity from the tabloid press and beyond. You may recall, for instance, when she served avocado on toast to a friend, and the British press linked this gesture to perpetuating the scourges of drought and murder. It's no wonder that she and Harry left the constraints of the British monarchy behind in 2020. This one's wife has until recently shied away from social media, only sharing the occasional peek into her real world. Since rejoining Instagram at the start of this year, this has seemingly been her posting philosophy. Many delicious-looking dishes and gardens and sun-filled afternoons with infrequent snapshots of her behind-the-scenes work and family life sprinkled in. As ever, with all of its luxe covetable offerings, seems to be a continuation of that ethos. This one's wife says as much on the brand's website, describing it as an extension of how I love. Whether this translates to simply a niche through viable presence in the market or a Fortune 500 company remains to be seen. For brands so intimately tied to a particular personality, there's a delicate balancing act to not only generate interest but to also sustain it. People's interest in the Duchess of Sussex should never be in doubt, and this one's wife has savvily established as ever in this light. The Duchess is aspirational in the light glimpses she shares, but mostly unknowable. And that's okay. Everyone still wants the jam. Some people get it, some people don't. Still, we're all intrigued by the jam. Exclusivity right now at least is a feature of as ever, and for celebrity-driven brands that's often a key differentiator in such an oversaturated market. It certainly seems to be working on me. I like this one's wife. I'm rooting for her. My misadventures in procuring the jam have only spurred me on. I'm certain I'll get that fruity spread one day, even though I'm not sure what I'll put it on. Probably toast, with flour sprinkles on top. What the fuck was that? Sickeningly effusive, horrendously inaccurate. Presumably, this has come from a daydream of this one's wife that she has somehow reduced to writing. Or is it the latest newsletter from the Sussex squad? Perhaps it's something that Harry was forced to write in order to demonstrate how much he loves this one's wife. The arse-lickering, bum-sniffing, kiss-ass nature of this article is extraordinary. It's off the charts in terms of how much that tongue is being wedged up the derriere of this one's wife, but also how horrendously incorrect it is. You would think this clearly must have been written by this one's wife. It clearly must come perhaps from some fan fiction from one of her deluded supporters. No. Do you know where this comes from? It comes from Elle magazine. Yes, astonishing, isn't it? Elle, that was founded in 1945 in Paris. That there are multiple editions of Elle around the world, a global network of publications and readers. There's Elle UK and Elle USA. And it was known as a pioneering publication that grappled with the many forces shaping women's lives in France back in 1945. Women won the right to vote in 1944, and Elle dove immediately into long-form newspaper-like features on women's role in national politics and the growing feminist movement. Elle would celebrate a new type of woman, independent, modern, active, comfortable in her own skin and her time. And over time it's gone on to be known predominantly for fashion and beauty, but has frequently explored political and social issues. Some of the key topics include gender equality, women's health, access to safe abortion services, social justice, racial equality. And yet, what is this tripe that has been produced? This utter bollocks. It's astonishing, isn't it? First of all, it repeatedly refers to it as jam, when in actual fact it's spread. So you've not even got the product correct. Talking about the fact that it gets in all of the key indicators that this one's wife would want. The product is marvellous. She is amazing. That she is popular. That there is this body of individuals within the media trying to do her down, saying that she's cooked and the brand has mishaps. That it even gets in those wanky flower sprinkles, saying they're supremely Instagrammable. Really? What? As you're choking on them because they're so dry and they're caught in your throat? Great. That looks really good. That likens her work to that of Martha Stewart, Ina Garten, and even Gwyneth Paltrow. That it talks about things being absolutely divine. And the fact is, it says that she's using Instagram infrequently. My backside. This journalist, this was posted only yesterday. This was published yesterday. This one's wife has been posting tat on the As Ever Instagram site daily for nearly 4 weeks, trying to show that people are buying her products. Everyone still wants the jam, but they don't. First of all, it's spread, and secondly, they don't, because hardly any of it has been spread around the world, because there's hardly any of it available to purchase. But this article lauds this one's wife as if she is supremely brilliant at everything that she does, touches upon how the media is horrible to her, explains how fantastically well she's utilising social media, and goes on to suggest, in some kind of alternative reality, that there are millions of people clamouring for these products. Elle has disgraced itself with this kind of pap, bearing in mind what it was originally established for. And furthermore, this is clearly, to my mind, this one's wife paying for such an article in order to puff herself up and to counter the adverse comments and the criticisms that she has received. Why on earth would Catherine Hensley write such a thing for Elle when it is completely devoid of touching reality? It's like you've stepped through the looking glass into an alternative world where all of a sudden this one's wife is both popular, successful, and brilliant at everything that she does. I'm sure as you were listening to me read the article, you were thinking, I'm sorry, I don't recognise anything that's being spoken about here. I understand the words, but who are we actually talking about? Because this doesn't match with my experience of what has been happening with this one's wife. Clearly, once again, this one's wife is feeling the heat from the criticisms levelled towards her brand and comes out with this deluded nonsense, probably directing the writer as to what she had to write, as she paid for it, once again, because nobody in their right mind would write such an arse-licking piece such as this. Do you agree with me, valuable viewers, that this is another instance of this one's wife utilising pay-to-play for the purpose of the assertion of control and drawing of fuel? Share your thoughts in the comments section. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.